Hi, Katzcradul here. This is one of the best parts of summer to me, sweet, beautiful, fresh corn. And what's better is it was free. A friend of mine who works for a big agribusiness, the one we all love to hate, she's a supervisor for the summer field hands, the students, and this company, as much as I love to hate them, does grow a huge field so that the kids can take corn home to their families. And she saw me yesterday and said, we've got to get it picked and the kids aren't taking it home. Do you want some? I said, absolutely. So she picked this for me. It's absolutely gorgeous. We had a dozen ears last night. Prepper A has eaten a couple of ears today, and we'll have it for supper, and the rest of it's going to be blanched and then frozen. I'm not particularly fond of canned corn, so it's going in the freezer. They're all almost perfect and beautiful, except one that kind of didn't get the memo that it was supposed to be gorgeous, and so it's kind of the ugly duckling of the whole bunch, but there was only one. And I think there's a life lesson in here somewhere. None of the others stand out. They're all nice, but this definitely is the most interesting piece of corn. That gives me comfort that you don't have to be particularly beautiful to be interesting and intriguing. So anyway, the corn is going to be processed, and then somebody gave me two little puny zucchini, but maybe I can find something to do with them. Whoa, look at that. Can you believe it? I don't even know. That probably weighs 3 pounds, and this at least that much. I can't wait to cut into those and see if they're tough or tender. If they're fairly tender, then I'm going to blanch them and put them on the dehydrator to have zucchini casserole in the middle of winter. Of course you can tell. All right, I thought I'd show you just a little bit about what I'm doing. Here I've cut some corn off the cob and I'm scraping it into my big bowl. The next thing to do will be to go blanch it. So here's how it's looking so far. Beautiful. And this is the best use of an electric knife I know of. So I'll just show you a little bit how that works. I just hold my corn up. You want to go about 2/3 of the way down into the kernel because you don't want to get any of the hard cob. So here goes. All right, and there's lots of ways to do this. Some people stick the tip down into the hole of a bundt pan and then cut down this way either with their regular knife or electric knife and the ears fall in the bundt pan. I just don't like that. It just seems like more trouble and it's worse, so I just do this. And you can see sometimes it comes out looking like a bad burr haircut. Sometimes I haven't gone deep enough, but I get most of it. It goes very, very quickly, and I get very seldom do I get any of the cob. So that's what I like. I like to have all the nice tender sweet kernels. So give electric knife a try. It makes quick work of taking corn off the cob. All right, I'm kind of intrigued by this little project. This is not my idea. If you want to see where I got the idea, go to I'm Still Working's channel. I'll post a link. She took zucchini and she cut it up. She cut hers in about, I guess, 1-inch cubes, maybe smaller than that. And she said the only thing she regretted about the recipe is that she wished she would have cut her zucchini bigger. I'm a pretty quick study, so I've done just what she suggested. I've cut mine bigger. And in this pot right here, I have water and Kool Aid mix and sugar, and it's boiling. And now I'm going to add my 10 cups of zucchini right here. And we're going to make homemade gummy worms. And I'll show you what it looks when it comes out of the water. We're going to boil it for, or simmer it for 20 minutes. Okay, you'll have to pardon the mess. This is just how summer looks around my house. It's just crazy. There's food processing stuff everywhere. Although purple might not have been our best choice because the purple and the green is looking kind of weird. It does sort of look like worms. It does. We'll just see what happens. I did taste the syrup after I took the worms out. There's no hint of a zucchini taste at all. It tastes exactly like the syrup when I put it in, so I'm probably going to put it through a strainer and maybe use it to sweeten beverages or something. I don't know, but it just tastes perfectly fine, so I'm not going to throw that away. So I'll get these on the trays. That looks like a big old bowl of worms, doesn't it? What do you think, Prepare?
It does look like a bunch of worms.
I know. Okay, I'm going to get it on the tray, and then I'll let you see what it looks like. All right, I've got all my zucchini worms on my trays. It took 4 trays to hold it all. I do have spaces in between them because I'm assuming, you know, they're just going to get sticky as they dry. I tasted a couple of them, and they taste very grapey and sweet and delicious, and there still is a little bite to them, a little tooth to them. I was thinking that maybe after I boiled the zucchini for 20 minutes that it would just be mushy and disgusting, but it's not. It still has some firmness to it, and it's really good. So I just can't wait to see what happens when it dries. But here's the really cool discovery. When I got to the bottom of the bowl and tasted that syrupy grape, delicious actually, grape syrup, I thought immediately about medicine for children, and I do store a lot of the unsweetened Kool Aid packets, because if I have water that's just a little bit off tasting, I sure want to be able to flavor it. So I have lots of things to do that with. We've never drank Kool Aid in this house, we just haven't, but I do store those packets. But I'm thinking, as I taste that delicious syrupy grape leftover stuff from making the worms, that if someone ran out of like children's Tylenol or something and needed to give that to a child, that they could crush up a little bit of adult Tylenol and mix it in that syrup, and I think a kid would readily take that. It's just delicious. So I'm kind of cataloging that and remembering that, because that would be a great way to deliver something, or even if you needed to crush up some herbs or something and mix in that, it'd be a great way to get a kid to take it. Anyway, just a thought. I'm going to go see if there's room on the freezer for the dehydrator, and I'm going to get these on. I'll show you what they look like when they're done. All right, here's what I ended up with. I ended up with 7 nice bags of corn. That'll be for at least 7 meals for us. Really nice, just stay delicious and sweet. And here's just a portion of the homemade gummy worms, and I've got to tell you, they are really good. What do you think, Prepare?
Oh, I think they're great.
You like them?
Mm-hmm.
Describe the flavor.
Because the outside lemonade mix, it's kind of sour.
Okay, I did toss them in lemonade mix. That's what she's talking about. They're a little tart on the outside. Would you ever guess it was zucchini if you didn't know?
No, I would never think it was zucchini or really any fruit. It's not. It's kind of firm, but in a good way. It's not really squishy like those slimy gummy worms.
Yeah, I think they're delicious. I just served some to a friend and her little son when they came over, and when I told her it was zucchini, she just could not believe it. They're really good. Give them a try, and very easy to make. I did find for me, and it may just be that it's so humid here, it did take longer than 14 hours. So plan on that, but that's no big deal. It's just dehydrating, so just let it run until they're just pliable, but don't feel moist at all. And oh, there goes another one. And I think you'll like it. Ours look kind of funny. Ours are grape, but they're delicious. Katzcradul.
And Prepare.
Well, it's only been about 2 minutes since I turned the camera off, but I thought I would come back on and tell you that I thought Prepare said something interesting after we turned the camera off. And what was that you said to me?
I told my mom that it kind of tasted like really, really good fruit leather.
Yeah, I think that's a good description. She said that the little things we're calling gummy worms really, to her, more tasted like just a delicious fruit leather. So that'll just give you something to compare it by. That's all. Katzcradul again, out with Prepare signing off.